The next group that we have is SiMLQ. SiMLQ creates real-time digital twins that let organizations test decisions before they make them. In seconds, teams can simulate scenarios, optimize operations, and unlock hidden capacity in complex systems like healthcare. To present SiMLQ, we have Ofer. Ofer, over to you.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ofer Berman. Thank you for coming and listening today. I want to talk a little bit about SiMLQ, which is our technology and software for providing simulations for managing queues. We use machine learning and AI in order to do that. Our focus is on improving waiting in emergency department. I'll talk. So I'm Ofer Berman. I'm a professor at the Rotman School of Management, been here over 20 years. I'm a queuing theorist, so I know how to manage queues and waiting times. One of the things we've done during COVID that we pushed for is COVIDPPE.ca, which was a platform that we introduced and basically allowed millions of PPE items across the country to go from suppliers to customers. My colleague Dimitri Kras has been at Rotman for over 35 years. He is one of the first people in the world to do management analytics in practice. And I'm talking 35 years ago when management analytics wasn't a term that we were familiar with. So his previous company led the effort there. And Professor Senderovich, our colleague from the York University, he is the founding father essentially of queue mining. He's an expert in machine learning and in process mining, and we bring all of our expertise together into SiMLQ. You have here a list of several of the companies that we work with and that gave us money, and most recently Venture Radar announced us as one of the top 20 most innovative spin-offs for universities. So talking a little bit about the emergency department and the issues there in waiting, but those issues are very broad. We have wait times. It costs a lot. It endangers people's life. And it also becomes worse with time, with population aging and so on. What's happening together is that at real time, doctors and nurses that need to take decisions don't have access to data and don't know what would be the impact of different choices that they make. They don't have this what if analysis capabilities. And this is something that we can bring to the table and help them in order to prevent them from having to manage things in an ad hoc fashion, in a reactive fashion. And each doctor, each nurse choose different activities according to what they feel is correct. To understand the issues of emergency department and the problem there, most recently the Canadian Healthcare Technology kind of highlighted this number of patients that died in the emergency department in Alberta.
They came for urgent care and died before they got it. The Alberta Medical Association says at least 6 preventable deaths have occurred this month as patients waited in crowded emergency rooms. Dozens of other cases are listed as near misses, and doctors say the system is simply overwhelmed. Aaron Collins has more.
Right, so this is kind of a sense of how bad the situation is, essentially. Wanted to run this by you so you understand the problem. So a little bit on the solution, how we solve it. What we are able to do is to create a simulation model of emergency department or other queuing systems, and we do it in seconds. Typically, developing a simulation model for an emergency department will take 1 year. If I've done this before, I can take it down to 6 months. We do it in seconds, and this allows us to go after the simulation is done and you compare different scenarios, you take an action, this action changes the data. If it takes you 12 months to recalibrate your simulation, you cannot take real-time decisions with this. If it takes you a couple of seconds to then go from data to the model again, you can start taking real-time decisions. This is what we call digital twin. Our favorite decisions, what is the next patient that the doctor needs to see? So say Mobin just finished taking care of me. Should he take care of Curtis or of Samantha as the next patient? We can help solving these problems. Just to show you a little bit of how our software work, a couple of kind of screenshots. You bring up the event, you see the process that you're analyzing, and then once you run the simulation, you see a dashboard comparing the real data in blue, the simulation of the current system, the predictive analytics model in orange. This is a sanity check that I have the right model. And in this case, the green shows you what is the benefit of intervening and speeding up some of the actions or adding some capacity, different performance measures that you can define, and so on. Show you what it's been done, what it has been doing in practice. Our project with Erie Shores, our first customers, they started using, implementing some interventions based on SiMLQ in January this year. This is data comparing this last year, January of 2025 versus September 2025. The 4 performance measures that we show here: time to physician initial assessment, length of stay for admitted patients and for non-admitted patients. All of them have been improved by 25 to 45%. This happened while the demand has grown by 25%. And you know, January is flu season. September is typically with lower demand, as you see in the data from Ontario. Because of the great service that they are providing, they've seen an increase of patients, about 550 patients a month for their hospital. If you price it at $350 per patient, this is an annual revenue of $2.3 million. If you think about the prices of emergency department visits south of the border, they would be 4 or 5 times larger than that. The idea is we can get gains given the current system without adding money, without adding resources, demonstrate our approach. And now we have started working with one more hospital in Alberta. This is at a point where we want to increase our presence and scale up to the over 100 hospitals in Alberta. This is why I played you the audio. About the market a little bit, about 7,000 hospitals in the US and Canada. There are about 10 to 15 processes in each one of them. If we price each process at $54,000 a year, and we capture 25% of this market is $1 billion. Our current per process price is $58K, so $54K is very much achievable. If you go to other healthcare applications, long-term cares and clinics, 43,000 processes, market of $16 billion. If you go to some other industries like logistics, government, and manufacturing and so on, it's a $30 billion market. The growth percentage, the annual growth here is 35-45% a year. So a huge market for us. What do we need in order to be able to support our scaling over the next 12 months into more than 100 hospitals? If we can get this contract and we can deliver upon it, this is a $5 million annual contract. In order to be able to do this, we are raising $1.5 million. Quick summary. We have a great team with a lot of track record, already raised $1 million in non-diluted funding, $200K in revenue. We have expertise that no other team in the world has, and we are looking forward to increase from our 4 customers now going into over 100 over the next year. This is what we need the money for. You have a little bit more information to us here, and I'll be happy to take any questions.
Okay, we have time for one question. Thanks, Ofer. The question here is, does the digital twin model help medical teams take actionable steps towards triage?
Actionable what in triage?
Does the digital twin model help medical teams take actionable steps towards triage?
Yes. So specifically, last time I was in a hospital, after a ski accident, I needed an X-ray and a blood test. Where do you send me next is an important part of a triage nurse decision. This routing, similar to the routing example that I gave before, is certainly one use case that we have.